today we're in Glasgow and it's the third day of COP, and this is a bit unexpected. Just a street away from our base, we've came across an event that's happening. People are very mad about the effects of what's happening with COP. Are you walking with the people?
I mean, the COP, the transport day, all they were talking about was electric cars. So that, we need public transport. We're all a little bit annoyed about the fact that COP has been captured by the fossil fuel companies. ExxonMobil is in cahoots with the British government about COP, so COP is a cop-out, it really is. Money isn't the problem, they could find the money, but they're just not interested. They want to continue on with exploitative capitalism, neo-colonialism, and they think we're not going to notice.
I feel sorry for you guys, because we've had our time, and the people who are making your enemies are all in a room right now making decisions that can affect you in such a lukewarm way. If they had to make the decisions about the climate change in the way that they made your enemies, they would make them with a lot more energy.
I'm terrified of the future. If left to these our government, they're getting away with murder.
And I think our politicians are not taking seriously this crisis. And I came here for putting pressure on the elite to do something about it, because it looks like they're not doing anything.
This is a protest against greenwash, against a lot of companies who basically pretend they're doing environmentally conscious things, but actually they're making no difference at all. What a lot of these companies are asking you to do is focus on the little things that they're doing to try and make things carbon neutral, and actually in the background there's all this other stuff going on where they're funding fossil fuels, or with their companies like Shell, for example, they're spending huge amounts on oil exploration. But if you look at their TV commercials, all they talk about is the stuff they're doing that is green. You know, you see wind turbines on their adverts. I'm sure you're aware of all this stuff. But essentially what we're saying is, most companies who say they're doing things to be green, it's just window dressing, it's greenwash, and that's what this march is about.
So that was brilliant. So I'm really glad that we got a couple of our team members to be able to go down and actually cover the protest that was going on. The atmosphere looked amazing. How was it for you when you were actually down there?
Well, I think the experience was very unexpected.
Yeah, we had no idea that was going to happen. At the start of the day, we were just editing in the bays, and then one of our tutors, Francis, told us something was happening down the street. And then we just picked up our camera equipment, ran outside, and then we didn't get back to the base until 5 hours later. So
yeah,
it's really unexpected.
5 hours is a very long time. Did the atmosphere change at all?
Surprisingly, like no one there really was upset at any point. Like you could say some moments people were a bit down, but like everyone made sure that the music was still going, people were still dancing, like the spirits were high and no one was left upset.
Oh yeah, the drumming was the best part of the whole thing.
He was loving it. Every 2 seconds I'd look to my side and then he'd be gone.
Dancing. Honestly.
So you wouldn't say that the presence of the police affected the march at all, or did it affect it for a brief period of time?
I think at first it was a bit nerve-wracking because we had no idea we were going into it, that was going to happen, so we were obviously a bit scared.
I mean, when it started, we saw a few police, but that's what throughout Glasgow, everywhere you go, you see police because of COP. You know, like it was the normal amount of police you see every day. Then all of a sudden, we see a row of police, and then they just keep coming. They keep coming, and then it's like what have we put ourselves into? Like what have we got ourselves into? And it just went from there. And yeah.
Well, throughout the day, you will have been talking to quite a number of people with lots of different opinions, quite a few with the same opinions as well. Do you feel like your opinions have changed? Will you hold yourself differently during interviews, or?
I don't know for Joseph, but I'd say definitely for me they've changed a bit, because I feel like being in that confined area with like lots of different people, different backgrounds, different areas coming together about this one issue, which was greenwashing, it really changed your perspective, because you got to hear all these different stories and how people like all age groups are like fighting about this cause, because when we found them, they were rallying against a big company, JP Morgan, which we found out has been investing in the last 5 years 350 billion into fossil fuels, and that was quite jarring, I think, for both of us.
It made me realise that like I'm not as passionate about the earth as it could be, and like for me that was a pivotal moment for me this week, because the people there had this kind of like almost supernatural energy behind what they were saying. Like they knew, like they believed that their action could cause change. Sometimes when I tell people about climate change, I don't believe it all the way. Like I'm holding back a bit, but being in that environment made me realize that all it takes to change people's minds is changing your mind. I don't know if that makes sense, but you have to make the decision to, like, you have to believe in what you're saying, and if you believe in what you're saying, then it'll be easier for you to like influence other people and point them in the right direction.
I think that's a brilliant message that you've just said, Joseph, and I totally agree with it. And because there was such an overwhelming amount of people at the march, it must have been quite a stressful situation. You only went down there to record and get some interviews with people for a protest, but it turned out to be a kettling incident. So how did you feel with that overwhelming police presence, as we've discussed already, being confined in such a small space for such a long amount of time?
Well, I really needed to pee the whole time. I was tempted to go beside one of the, like, in between one of the, like, you know, the crooks in the building? Yeah, I really wanted to pee there, but yeah, I heard a few people, like, fully grown adults peed on themselves. So I was like, I'm not doing that. That's not on my bucket list today. And yeah, we were also really hungry. Rachel was cold.
I was cold.
Yeah, she had to take off her hoodie at a point so that we could speak to more people.
Yeah.
And yeah, for me it wasn't too bad. I just really needed to pee. But I think if not for the atmosphere, I would have struggled a lot.
Yeah.
Like it would have been harder. But because everyone was so positive, it kind of gave me energy to get through at least 4 of those hours.
Yeah.
I was only tired towards the end, and that was good.
I felt like the people there with the music obviously kept everyone's spirits high, and people would like come up to you and just make sure you were okay. So we had multiple people come up to us.
Oh yeah, there was this really nice granny that went around giving sweets, and there was also this, there was this couple that was giving out cookies or something, and they were environmentally friendly cookies, you know, but they tasted really good. Yeah, they were vegan cookies. Yeah, I forgot the word.
You'll know all about that with your baking and cooking program, which you'll see hopefully throughout the week if you keep your eyes out for it. Because of the kettling incident as well, we had to come and rescue you.
Oh gosh.
How was that experience when we came down finally after 5 hours of being stuck in the same place?
Well, I think what it was is throughout the 5 hours we had to call Scott and Emily to let them know we're okay, and I think it was safe to say that they were more stressed out than we were. I think that was definitely because I think the music kept us like in good spirits, whereas we had them like going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And it was really great when they actually like when they came and got us, I think because the mood was going down and we're kind of like, oh my god, this has been hours. And when they actually got us out, like I hugged Emily and I was so happy. And then I go into the news at 10 o'clock and just see me in the background dancing like a loony. So that's great.
Right, so thank you very much. And as we've already discussed, it was an amazing experience, and it was brilliant that we had people from our team out there filming it, even if it did get a bit wild at times. But I'm sure you enjoyed your fish and chips afterwards.
Oh, yeah,
that was
that was a
that
good
was
reward.
the best fish and chips I've ever had.